A troubling trend in the rise of COVID cases in New York City, a big increase in the number of cases in children.
After a quick break, the rain is back, timing it out and what to expect by morning.
And need to take your phone to the Genius Bar to get fixed? Well, the reason you can't do that right now. This is News 4 Now for December 28th. I'm your girl, Kay Ingram. COVID hospitalizations in New York have now reached levels we haven't seen since late February. About 5,500 people across the state are now in the hospital with COVID. There's also been a nearly five-fold increase in the number of children hospitalized in the city. There were 22 in early December. Last week, that number was up to 109. Health officials say among the 5 to 11-year-olds in that group, none had been vaccinated.
We could avert all this if every child were vaccinated. We still have time. We literally have hundreds of thousands of kids who have been safely vaccinated already.
The governor and Mayor de Blasio say they're going to increase COVID testing and vaccinations in schools to combat the rise in cases in children. The CDC is shortening its recommended isolation and quarantine period for COVID-19. The CDC now says those who are asymptomatic or no longer showing symptoms can shorten their isolation period from 10 to 5 days, followed by 5 days of wearing a mask around others. Dr. Anthony Fauci, President Joe Biden's chief medical advisor, if you don't know, explains the reasoning behind the change.
If you look at the chance of getting a transmission in that second half of that 10-day period, it's considerably less than in those first few days.
The CDC also says those who are unvaccinated or who haven't gotten their second COVID shot should quarantine for 5 days, followed by 5 more days of strict mask usage. All right, Apple customers, Apple stores in New York City are open only to those picking up an online order amid a spike in the number of COVID-19 infections. For now, there's no browsing, no in-store activation, and no Genius Bar. The company says it's making the change to support the well-being of customers and employees. Reinstated, a mask mandate at all U.S. retail stores is their solution at the Apple stores. Now, before you welcome in the new year, you have to dump the old stuff you didn't want to bring with you into 2022, right? Well, today you can say farewell to any bad memories of the past year. The 15th annual Good Riddance Day celebration is being held in Times Square. People get the chance to share their unhappy, unwanted memories from this year to be printed and then burned.
Hi there, I'm Storm Team 4 meteorologist Maria LaRosa. After a brief break, even some sunshine today, it's back to the clouds and back to a chance for some showers. Temperatures for most places will be above freezing, so it's rain moving in after midnight and showers lingering through tomorrow morning. However, there are a few spots that'll be close to or below freezing. That's where we could pick up some snow. So mainly Pike Sullivan, Ulster, and northern Dutchess County, long enough here late tonight and early tomorrow morning that we could see some accumulating snow, less than an inch in most spots, that chilly rain taking over by midnight and beyond, and a few lingering showers into tomorrow morning. We get another quick break before that next round of some wet weather. As far as the snow goes, not amounting to much, less than an inch to the north and west, and not much snow in that forecast to finish out the year either.
So, 2 years after his untimely death, a new book about Anthony Bourdain is being released. New York Live's Lauren Scala has a sneak peek.
Anthony Bourdain captivated the masses, taking us on adventures around the globe for almost 2 decades. When he spoke, we listened.
It's not a friendly country. All that one love stuff is bull.
What he ate, we wanted to taste.
This is what you want. This is what you need.
And where he traveled, we now needed to go.
You go away. You learn. You get scarred, marked, changed in the process.
And 3 years after his untimely death, his longtime director and friend, Tom Vitale, has released a memoir about their adventures around the world together. We're here today at the TWA Hotel to catch up with Tom.
Right out of school, I got a job tape logging on a Cook store, which was his first show. And I got to meet him when I was delivering a tape. And before I even said anything, he closed the door in my face. But yeah, we went on to have quite a career together. He used to say, if you can't laugh, there's nothing left to do but cry. And the situations were so always bizarre and weird. I mean, even when it was scary, you'd have to sort of laugh at the fact that we were doing a food show, you know, wherever the heck it was, we were doing a food show. So it was kind of surreal and funny, and we all laughed a lot.
Some of you might ask, how is this food related? If I know.
I mean, he was a total nerd. We used to fight over what was better, Pan Am or TWA. And he was in the TWA camp, which is one of the reasons that I thought it'd be fun to come here today.
Oh, I saw you carrying a Pan Am bag, did I not?
Yeah, I have a collection of vintage airline memorabilia, even though I'm scared of flying too, which is
You're afraid of,
terrified of flying. Every
How
time
did you do this job?
Yeah, well, you don't let your fears get in the way of an adventure or a good time or an experience. Even at the darkest times, we always knew it was just the adventure of a lifetime.
Next, a holiday surprise today for a family in New Jersey who lost just about everything in a devastating house explosion 2 weeks ago. They're getting some much needed help from the community. News 4's Ted Greenberg has a story.
If you guys can follow me.
They were told to come to Cumberland Mall for a surprise this Christmas Eve, but didn't know what was waiting for them.
They heard about your story and really wanted to pitch in.
Marisol Velez de Francis unable to hold back tears after seeing the presents and gift cards for her husband, brother, and 16-year-old niece.
I'm grateful for everything and everyone.
They all lived in the Vineland home obliterated by an explosion 10 days before Christmas.
A lot of our neighbors have come together, dropping stuff off, and I don't even know our neighbors, and it's great. It's great to know that we live in a neighborhood that when it gets bad, they're there.
The mall and its stores working to get the family back on their feet, a family known in the community for helping others.
We're giving back to those who are constantly giving.
It means a lot, you know, that especially the kid can have a Christmas and kind of have some type of, you know, normalness to her life at this point.
There are close to 75 retailers here at Cumberland Mall. I'm told about a third of them pitched in to help the family.
I didn't really think people like that were here anymore. I mean, it doesn't really happen that often, so when it does, it's like, wow, it's really surprising.
They lost everything, so they're starting from scratch, and I mean, Christmas time really pulls at the heartstrings as well.
Investigators are still working to figure out what sparked the explosion. 3 pets remain missing. The family now staying at the Philadelphia home of Marisol's mother. She was visiting in Vineland at the time of the blast and is still in the hospital.
She's doing good every day, but she does have a long recovery ahead of her.
A GoFundMe page set up by a friend has also raised more than $18,000. The giving spirit focused on a family with a huge heart when they need it most. Ted Greenberg, News 4, New York.
All right, friends, thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.